Hello everybody, my name is Van Potts and I'm with Preston Lane and Partners, and today is Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, and I'm coming to you today to speak a little bit about the price of wine. Yes, the retail price that you pay either at your favorite wine shop or in your favorite restaurant as you're enjoying wine with your family and friends. Wine pricing is tricky at any time for producers and suppliers, but throw in a pandemic and it gets to be even trickier. So I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about this. I hope you'll give us a like. I hope you'll share this with your friends and family because I do think it's very important. It's important to get the word out so that people understand some of the dynamics that are driving some of these prices. So there basically are three factors which drive the price of a bottle of wine. Number one is the wine itself. The wine itself has the grapes, the packaging, the winemaking, a lot of different things, the overhead cost of the winery, a lot of different things go into the pricing of wine. And coming out of the pandemic, a lot of suppliers are going to be faced with higher costs just to produce the wine. And I think it's important that everybody understand that because it's not easy for them in normal times. But again, when you throw a pandemic in, it gets to be even trickier. Number two, the logistics of moving the wine, and that is getting it from the winery to your store where you buy wine or to the restaurant where you enjoy wine. That is also going to get quite a bit more expensive and quite a bit trickier. So whether you're in California, Oregon, Washington, and you're moving the wine across country to Chicago or Boston or Miami, or whether you're in Europe, South Africa, South America, Australia, New Zealand, and you're moving wine across the ocean to the United States, those costs are also going to be really impacted. The cost of a container to move wine from France to the United States, for example, has tripled. Not only has it tripled, but they've added surcharges as much as $1,000 for a 20-foot container. So when you start tripling the costs, plus adding surcharges, you're adding cost to the price of a bottle of wine, and it will show up at the shelf, and I think you need to be prepared for it. The third thing is taxes and tariffs. And taxes and tariffs have obviously been something that have been a little bit frustrating for those of us who supply wine since they were added on in 2018. But tariffs are paid by you, the consumer. They're not paid by France, they're not paid by China, they're not paid by anybody else. The consumer pays them. And the tariffs and taxes are the environment that we're in. I'm of the opinion that tariffs and taxes might only go up, not down, and they will add to the cost of a bottle of wine. I think it's important to understand that for everybody. Also, in all of these factors is the supply chain. The supply chain, I'm sure you've heard this on the news if you've been listening, supply chain disruptions are the norm right now, and they are particularly bad. How long will they last? No one really knows. But I listened to a macroeconomist today that said that he believed that they'll get worse before they get better, which means we could have 2 or 3 months. And as an example, if you are a supplier, an importer like we are, and you want to bring in a container of wine and you have the money to bring in that container of wine, it's very difficult to find space on the container. So we just placed an order. We're told we had to wait 3 weeks before it could ship. And that is one of the realities of the situation that we're in. So it's difficult anytime we're trying to price wine, but now it's even trickier. And I think it's important that you understand and know some of the different factors that are getting ready to hit all of us, because I know that it can be frustrating and maddening, but it's not your retailer's fault. It's not your restaurant's fault. It's no one's fault. It's happening because there's not a lot we can do about it. All of us are working the best we can to try to minimize the exposure to these issues and situations. But of course, there is a limit to what we can do. So I hope you found this informative. Again, I hope you'll give us a like, and I hope you'll share this because I do think it's a really important topic to discuss and to talk about. And with that, I'll bid you farewell, and thanks for listening.